Hello, CEO teachers. Welcome back to the show. We are moving into a brand new month. I hope that you're loving May as much as I am. So we mentioned a few weeks ago that each month we're going to do a focused pathway, or really one of the 6 steps that we teach inside of the CEO teacher, so that you can get a deep dive and we really can just start making this like this whole beautiful web, this ecosystem of amazingness for teachers. Last month, we talked all about how to establish your teacher business, which is step 1 inside of our process. This month, we're going to talk about how to design your teacher business. The 6 steps inside of the teacher business success path are establish, design, research, market, streamline, and flourish. So today, I want to talk to you about how to design the life you want as a teacher. Now, we're also going to get into the nerdy marketing aspects of design this month, but for today, I thought I want to get you started on the right foot, and let's go down deep into how to design the life you want as a teacher. So stick around, you don't want to miss it. Introducing a brand new opportunity to get your hands on the exclusive and proven reliable formula for establishing a real teacher business. The Establish Your Teacher Business Checklist, it's brand new. And if you're here and listening, I know that this is your next step. It'll set you up with the 10 strategies that you need to know to get started or to grow your teacher business before the last day of school is upon us. Get started creating your very own teacher business by sharing what you are passionate about in the classroom and learn to leverage those topics to grow your online presence. I will take the scary out of creating a teacher business and help you navigate the online space like the rockstar teacher you are. Head on over to caseymorris.com/checklist to learn more and find out how you can get your hands on the official CEO Teacher Establish Your Teacher Business Checklist to start making a bigger impact in the online space today. That's KAYSEMORRIS.com/checklist. Okay, lately, I've been working with the idea that life can always work in your favor if you believe it can, and that anything you want in life is possible as long as your intentions are pure and your intentions are true. So I've talked a lot about my faith recently, and I feel really good about that. I thank you all for your messages. I am loving being able to share this side of who I am. And I wanted to share kind of a different thought process in prayer that I've been using lately. So I know that most of us go to prayer when things are rough and things are hard. Now, of course, I say my gratitude every day. I say my prayers before I go to bed at night. I say my prayers with my kids before they go to bed at night. And I think sometimes that we just get in that routine of prayer. I hope that we're saying thank you every day, but I also go to God when I need things, right? When things are hard, or if I need Him to heal someone, or if I can't manage life, I just ask for a lot of help. And so I started to think, what do I do on the times when life is really good? Why am I not asking for help then? Is it because I got this? And so lately, I've been asking God this. I said, God, show me how good it can get. And that has changed my entire perspective on life. Because so often in life, we think when it rains, it pours. I talked about this last week, or it's going so good. I know something that the shoe's going to drop at any moment, but what if it doesn't? What if He just keeps delivering? What if life just keeps getting better? And as a teacher, I think we get in this vortex of negativity and thinking that this is all there is to life. And you're so in control every single day when you go to school. You are so in every moment. You are planning out every single step. You have every single detail orchestrated moment by moment. I know because I've been there. I've been in your shoes. And what happens is that attitude infiltrates into your entire life. And so you've planned everything as a teacher, your day-to-day routine, and then you go home and you feel like you have to have everything under your control, under your thumb. You have to be on top of your A game at all times. Honestly, looking back on my life, I think this has probably been my biggest downfall, is thinking that I am in control of my day. And in case you missed that previous episode, where I also chatted a lot about my life in the last year, in case you missed this announcement, over the last year, I went through a divorce, and I learned during those dark nights of the soul that I could be awakened into a brand new, beautiful perspective. And so what I learned the most is this: life can't always be about your plan. And sometimes, if you allow it, God can show up in the moments that you least expect it and design a life that is perfectly written for you, that is completely out of your control. And so if you listen, and just let each moment flow instead of feeling like you have to grab it and shake it and saying, I've got this, God, I got this. That's when life begins to become absolutely beautiful. I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan. Any Coach Prime fans in the house, I've shared about my love for him over the past couple years through Facebook Lives and things like that. But I was on Instagram and I was scrolling through and I heard him say this quote this week. And I was like, wow, I want to use this for the show. He said, I'm not perfect, but I'm present. So when God calls, and it can even be in a crowd, I can hear his voice because I don't have noise in my life. Whenever he needs me, I'm available. Whenever he wants me, I'm there. Whenever he whispers, I can hear it soundly. Whenever he tells me, I go do it. There's no way he's going to bless me privately, and I'm not going to proclaim it publicly. Whew. So today I want to talk about designing the life that you want as a teacher, but it looks much different than how I might have taught this topic a year ago or even 2 years ago, because I was more in the forcing flow of life rather than in the flowing part of life. And I want you to think about allowing the life that you desire as a teacher to happen to you. Now, I'm not going to say that it doesn't involve work or that you don't have to show up every day and take action, because you definitely do. But mapping out exactly how it has to happen, it isn't the easiest way to make your teacher dreams become a reality. So, I want to give you 5 strategies to use to design the life that you want as a teacher. The first is definiteness of purpose. Napoleon Hill, the author of my favorite book, Think and Grow Rich, says, a man without a definite major purpose is as helpless as a ship without a compass. Last week, we spoke about your business vision and your business mission. And I want you to take what you learned in last week's show, and I want you to use that as a guide for your life. How can you wake up each day and project that vision, that mission of what do I want in my life? Because we all know teaching is hard. And we all know that falling into the negativity trap, it's easy. It's super easy to listen to all of the negative things that people say. And I'll be honest, sometimes it's fun. I mean, it is. When people start talking smack, like I love smack talk. I love smack talk that doesn't hurt people. But whenever you get into this crowd and people are talking smack about other people, you don't even realize you become victim to it. You get sucked in and you start telling the same stories. You start talking the same things. But my life gets infinitely better when I remove that completely. And when I was teaching the last 3 years, I put black construction paper over my teacher window at my door. This is a little hack, guys, in case you didn't know this. I took tape and I taped a bunch of black construction paper. And during my planning period, I would put it over my window. And when someone walked by, it looks like no one is in there. It just looks like the lights are off. You feel me? And so I locked the door and people would knock on the door and I wouldn't answer. Nobody was home. And I would stay in there and I would get my work done. I would grade my papers. I would listen to podcasts. And sometimes I would go outside and listen to podcasts. But I also made a track in my room. I made it for myself and my students. But I had my desk in like a U shape and I pushed them all together. And I made like an actual, like put tape on the floor, black tape on the floor. And so kids at any moment could get up and walk around the room. Now I had 35 kids in a very small room. So we were tight in there, but they loved it because it gave us the freedom. Like if I'm teaching, get up and walk around. You can't mess with anybody. But if you need to get up and shake it out, I was trying to get my steps in. So it allowed me to remove myself and design a life that had a definiteness of purpose, one that didn't include bashing other people, that didn't include getting so sucked in to the hate and to the drama. I'm from small town USA, and let me just tell you, people live for the downfall of someone else. And so when I started being very purposeful about my definiteness of purpose, that did not involve being so enthralled into what's going on the county Facebook page or who's losing their job or losing their family. Because the reality of that is that that's actually all really sad. Those are sad things. So I started putting my effort into how can I pour back into my family, pour back into my life? How can I raise my frequency, raise my energy levels so that I have time to focus in on my definiteness of purpose to design a life that I want, a life that I thought would look one way and that God had made look completely different and better than any of my wildest dreams. Number 2 on 5 strategies to use to design the life you want as a teacher is begin finding glimmers in every day. Now, Gabby Bernstein talks about this in the book The Universe Has Your Back. Now, if you're a faith-based person, I was a little reluctant to read it because some people get very offended by the term the universe because they said no, it's God. And let me just tell you, she talks about those two words interchangeably. If you want to go read the book, I love it. It's basically a guide to life and how angels and things like that can speak to you in your everyday. It doesn't even have to have a faith based meaning to it if you don't want it to. It can just mean that there is hope in every single day. You just have to look for it. There was a trend on TikTok, which is where I got number two from, about glimmers in every single day. And you get to put the meaning of that on your life. What does it mean for you? I love numerology. I love astrology. I love the earth. And so the glimmers come to me in various ways. I have sequenced numbers. If you follow me on Instagram, I am very big on sequenced numbers, and you can Google it and figure out about angel numbers if you want to. But my sequences are 444, 111, 333. My kids will text me during the day, Mama, it's 333. Or we look at license plates a lot, or we see somebody wearing a necklace and they're giving us kind words, and it's this little touch of I hear you, God. I see that this is good in the world. And so my favorite number sequence is three numbers, 369 together. And I've been seeing them everywhere. Oh, and the other day, did I tell you guys this? I can't remember. The other day I was sitting in the Publix parking lot. I shared this on Instagram. And I said that prayer that I mentioned at the beginning of the show that said, God, show me how good life can get. And I looked over and the license plate of the car that was going past me said 777. Tell me that's not a glimmer. You can't. I mean, someone told me the other day too that I needed to get out of the clouds. And I was like, why? I like it up here. Why would I come down if I like it so much up here? So, step two is find glimmers in every day. And you will be amazed that if you can quiet the noise, the negativity of the life that you currently have, and looking for a life that may be benefiting you more, if you begin to find the glimmers in your day, you get more of the same. So, step one was definiteness of purpose. Step two was finding glimmers in every day. Step three is having an unwavering belief that you are who you say you are. And this takes time. This takes making promises to yourself and not breaking them. This means that if you're going to get up at 5:30 and go to the gym, that's what you do. Until my nutrition coach once told me that just becomes who you are. And I was like, no, I'm never going to be a 5:30 a.m. gym goer. And she was like, but one day it'll just be who you are. And I think that's really a great idea and sentiment to carry with you in every aspect of life is that you get up and go be a good teacher with a good heart and you don't listen to negativity. In the beginning, it's really hard. And then it just becomes who you are. You start selling your lesson plans online, and the first month you make $50 and you learn really good marketing strategies. And then eventually you're making a couple $1,000s a month. And instead of it being the hardest thing you ever did, it just becomes who you are. Everything in life works that way. Have an unwavering belief that you are who you say you are. And the step-by-step process to doing that is to make promises to yourself that you keep. Number four, the quality of questions determines the quality of life that you'll have. What questions are you asking yourself every day? The thoughts in your head are swirling. Are you best case scenario tracked or are you worst case scenario tracked? I think they said the percentage of negative thoughts to positive thoughts was 80-20 or something crazy. So, how can you start flipping those things instead of what's going to happen today at the end of the day? Or how am I going to get to my kids to practice on time? Or how am I going to get dinner cooked? Or how am I going to go to bed on time? Stop asking yourself those questions and start giving yourself quality questions to determine the quality of life you're going to have. When I start going down that negative questioning or that negative talk, I now just turn it off. I don't ever answer it in my head. I don't go, I'm going to be late for soccer practice. I'm not going to have dinner ready. I just go, I'll figure it out. If the question starts, I'll figure it out. If the question, and I can't stress out about it. Okay, so if I don't get dinner cooked, okay, I go to Chick-fil-A. Or if we are late for soccer practice, it's not the end of the world. And so I had to start reorganizing how I ask myself questions, or everything was worst case scenario. If I give someone this much of me in a friendship, what if they don't reciprocate it? What if they do? What if you find platonic love in a friendship you've never had before? What if you have a friend that you just meet randomly who changes your life forever? So remember that the quality of questions determines the quality of life you'll have. And I know today's show is not necessarily marketing focused, but it is. Because if you learn to design the life that you want as a teacher, then everything else in the marketing world will come easily. It'll just be what you do. And then finally, number five is you have to begin reorganizing the meaning of things in your life. This kind of goes back to the quality of questions determines the quality of life you'll have. But instead of thinking the car won't start, I called every red light in town, the kids are getting you to run behind, saying yes to something at the last minute was a horrible decision you don't have time for. Instead of thinking those things, I want you to start trusting in God's divine timing. The car won't start because you weren't supposed to get on the road. I get emotional about this because I can't tell you how many times that I have been in that situation where something happened. And if I'd have been one more minute earlier, maybe there would have been a car accident, or my kid would have forgot something really special that we needed to get. Stop thinking that the car won't start. Okay. Okay. We'll figure it out. Called every red light in town. That's fine. That's a few more minutes that I get to have with my kids in the car to talk about their day. The kids are running behind. I used to grab them and I used to say, hurry up. And I still get caught into that. I still go, I remember this morning I was in a hurry because a lady was trying to get in her car and I was getting Asa out of the car and taking him into daycare. And I was like, hurry up, somebody's waiting on us. And she was like, it's fine. And I thought, why am I rushing? Why am I telling him she's fine? He's not being slow. He's taking his own sweet time, but not in a bad way. And so remember that you have to reorganize the meaning of things, especially if you were raised a certain way, you have childhood trauma, or you were a victim of abuse. Like, you have to start remembering that you place the meaning behind things in your life. And sometimes your past experiences determine how you perceive the world. And perception is everything. So, what if you started believing in God's divine timing for everything in your life? It won't be easy. Believe me, I am in the heart of it right now. It's not easy, but it's helped me design a life that has given me more happiness than I've ever known before. And that is my ultimate goal for you. All right, a quick recap of our 5 strategies to use to design the life you want as a teacher. First, definiteness of purpose. Second, find glimmers in every day. Third, have an unwavering belief that you are who you say you are. Fourth, quality of questions determines the quality of life you'll have. And finally, reorganizing the meanings of things in your life. This month, remember, we're going to talk all about the design process. Today, we talked about designing the life you want as a teacher. Next week, we're going to talk about designing products and services and marketing your business effectively. I hope that you'll join us. Remember, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Teacher TV, we go into a deep dive about what we're going to be talking about, and I hope to see you there. As always, remember, your best is yet to come. I'll see you right here next week. Bye, guys.